Be me 23, living in an apartment complex that looks like a Soviet gulag, but with worse Wi-Fi. Moved here 3 months ago to escape my problems. Turns out my problems have legs and just signed a lease next door. Her name is Olivia, absolute 10-10 girl I met on dating app last year. We talked for 2 weeks, went on 3 perfect dates. She was into anime, knew every Miyazaki film by heart, could quote entire scenes from Your Name while crying. Thought she was too good for me, so I did what any rational man does. Ghosted her completely, like I never existed, blocked her on everything, changed my grocery store, avoided her favorite coffee shop, figured I'd never see her again in a city of 2 million people. Fast forward to last Tuesday, I'm taking out trash in my pajamas. Door opens across the hall and out walks Olivia, carrying a box labeled kitchen stuff. She looks directly at me for 3 seconds. I freeze like a deer in headlights, holding a bag of ramen containers. She smiles and waves like we're old friends. Hi there, I'm your new neighbor. Acts like she's never seen me before in her entire life. I mumble something about welcome to the building and run inside. Spend the next 4 hours Googling, can you break a lease for emotional distress? Decide to lay low and avoid her until one of us moves or dies. Next morning, I'm leaving for work. She's checking her mail. Good morning, she says cheerfully. I nod and keep walking. She starts humming the theme from Spirited Away. That was our song, the one she hummed on our second date. This can't be a coincidence. At work, I tell my coworker Brian about the situation. Brian, bro, she definitely remembers you. Then why is she acting normal? Brian, maybe she's planning your murder. Thanks, Brian. Very helpful. Get home that evening. There's a note taped to my door. Hey, neighbor, I made too much pasta. Would you like some? Olivia. She drew a little Studio Ghibli character next to her name, specifically Calcifer from Howl's Moving Castle. She remembered I said he was my favorite character. This is psychological warfare. I write back, thanks, but I already ate. Which is a lie. I had a sleeve of saltines for dinner. Next day, she leaves another note. No problem. Maybe next time. BTW, do you know if the building has any noise restrictions? I like to watch movies pretty loud. She's threatening me with her movie nights. The same movie nights where we used to cuddle and she'd explain all the symbolism I missed. I pretend to not be home when she knocks that evening. Can hear Princess Mononoke playing through the walls at maximum volume. Specifically the scene where San says, I do not love you, to Ashitaka. The irony is not lost on me. This goes on for 2 weeks. She leaves me homemade cookies with a note. Thought you might like these, you seem skinny. The cookies are chocolate chip, exactly how I told her I liked them, with sea salt on top, which she learned. I preferred after our first date, I eat all 12 cookies in one sitting like the pathetic creature I am. Friday night, I'm playing video games with my window open, hear her on her balcony talking on the phone. No, Mom, I don't have a boyfriend yet. The guy next door seems nice, but probably not interested. She's talking loud enough for me to hear every word. Either she wants me to eavesdrop or she's genuinely clueless. Saturday morning, we end up in the elevator together. 30 seconds of pure silence. She's wearing the same perfume from our dates, the one that smells like vanilla and good decisions. Nice weather today, she says. Yeah, I respond like a caveman. She pulls out her phone and starts scrolling through what looks like dating apps, making sure I can see the screen, swiping left on every guy who looks remotely like me. The elevator reaches the lobby. Have a great day, she says with that same smile. I walk to my car, wondering if I'm losing my mind. Sunday evening, there's a knock on my door. It's Olivia holding a stack of mail. This got delivered to my apartment by mistake. She hands me my Netflix DVD of Grave of the Fireflies, the most depressing anime movie ever made. Good choice, she says. I love sad movies. She lingers in my doorway for exactly 10 seconds, long enough for me to smell her perfume again. Well, see you around, neighbor. I close the door and lean against it, like I just survived a horror movie. Check the mail date. It was delivered correctly to my apartment. She somehow intercepted my mail just to have an excuse to talk. This girl is playing 4D chess while I'm playing tic-tac-toe. Monday morning, I decide to confront the situation, knock on her door at 7 o'clock a.m. before I lose courage. She answers in pajamas and bedhead, still looks perfect. Oh, hi, what's up? Look, I think we need to talk. About what? You know exactly about what. I'm sorry, I don't follow. She tilts her head like a confused anime character, specifically like Toru Honda from Fruits Basket when she's being innocent. We went on dates last year. I ghosted you. Now you live next door. I think you have me confused with someone else. She says this with the straightest face in human history. Your name is Olivia. You work at the art museum. You have a scar on your left knee from falling off your bike when you were 8. Her face doesn't change at all. That's a pretty common name, and lots of people work at museums. She pulls up her pajama leg slightly. No scar, though, sorry. There's clearly a small scar exactly where I said it would be. She's gaslighting me so hard I'm questioning my own existence. I think you're a really sweet guy, but we've never met before last week. She closes the door gently in my face. I stand there for 5 minutes processing what just happened. Either I'm having a complete mental breakdown or she's the best actress alive. That evening, I hear her playing music through the walls. It's the entire soundtrack from Your Name. The same soundtrack we listened to during our third date when we almost kissed, but I got scared and made an excuse to leave early. I text Brian. I think my neighbor is psychologically torturing me. Brian. Or maybe she's giving you a second chance without the pressure. Brian. Like she's pretending not to remember so you can start fresh. This thought had not occurred to me. Maybe she's not playing mind games. Maybe she's just being nice and giving us both a clean slate. Tuesday morning, I'm getting coffee from the lobby vending machine. It only dispenses lukewarm brown water that tastes like regret. Olivia walks up with her own mug. This machine is terrible, right? Yeah, it's like drinking disappointment. She laughs, and it's the same laugh from our dates, the one that made me think maybe I deserved good things. There's a great coffee shop 2 blocks down. Ever been to Sakura Beans? It's the place we had our second date, where she explained the difference between Arabica and Robusta for 20 minutes. Never heard of it, I lie. We should go sometime. I mean, as neighbors. Neighborly. She's giving me an out, a way to say yes without admitting our history. That sounds nice. Great. How about tomorrow morning, 8 a.m.? Same time as our original date. Wednesday morning, I show up 5 minutes early. She's already there, sitting at the same table we used before, wearing a different outfit, but the same style, casual but put together, like she tried but not too hard. Hope you don't mind, I already ordered for both of us. She slides me a coffee. It's exactly how I used to order it. Medium roast, 1 sugar, splash of oat milk. Either she's a mind reader or she remembers everything. Lucky guess, she says when she sees my expression. We sit in comfortable silence for exactly 3 minutes. So what do you do for work, she asks. I work at the same IT company I told her about last year. I'm in tech support, pretty boring stuff. That's not boring. I bet you help people solve problems all day. Same response she gave before, word for word. What about you? I work at the art museum downtown. I give tours and help with exhibitions. She launches into the same story about her job that she told on our first date, about how she got into art history because her grandmother was a painter. Every detail exactly the same, except she tells it like it's the first time, like she's sharing something personal and new. We spent an hour talking about movies, books, travel dreams, all topics we covered before, but somehow it feels fresh, like we're discovering each other again. When we leave, she bumps into me slightly while putting on her jacket. Sorry, I'm clumsy in the mornings. She did the exact same thing on our original second date. I walk her back to our building. This was really nice, she says. Yeah, we should do it again. I'd like that. Maybe dinner next time? There's something different in her eyes, like she's testing me, seeing if I'll run again. I know a great ramen place, I say. Oh, I love ramen. Lead the way. She's giving me the chance to take her to the same restaurant, to recreate our first date but with knowledge of what I lost. Thursday, I spend the entire day planning what to wear, settle on jeans and a button-down, same outfit from before. Meet her in the lobby at 7 p.m. She's wearing a flowy dress that makes her look like an angel. Different color than last time but same style. We walk to Tanuki Ramen, the place where everything started. The hostess seats us at a different table but same section. Olivia orders the same thing. Tonkotsu ramen with extra green onions. I get the miso ramen, deviation from my original choice. Good pick, she says. I almost got that one. We talk about our childhoods. She tells me about growing up in Oregon, about her parents' divorce when she was 12, about her cat named Mochi who died last year. All stories I heard before, but I listen like they're new, because maybe they are in a way. Maybe this is our chance to build something real. Can I ask you something personal? She says over dessert. Sure. Do you ever feel like you've met someone before? Like deja vu, but stronger? My heart stops. Sometimes. I keep having this feeling around you, like we're old friends. She's cracking, showing me a glimpse behind the act. Maybe we knew each other in a past life, I say. Maybe we did. She reaches across the table and touches my hand briefly. Electric shock, same as before. But this time, I don't pull away. We walk home slowly, taking the long route, talking about everything and nothing. She stops in front of our building. I had a really great time tonight. Me too. We stand there for a moment, close enough that I can smell her perfume. Would you like to come up? I finally finished unpacking. This is where I ruined everything last time. Got scared and made an excuse about being tired. I'd love to. Her apartment is exactly how I imagined she'd decorate. Plants everywhere, vintage movie posters, bookshelves full of art books, a small shrine of Studio Ghibli figurines on her coffee table. Want some tea? I have this great jasmine blend, same tea she offered before. We sit on her couch and she puts on Kiki's delivery service. Hope you don't mind subtitles. We watch in comfortable silence. She curls up next to me during the flying scenes, just like she did in my imagination of what could have been. When the credits roll, neither of us moves. This is nice, she whispers. Yeah, it is. Can I tell you something? My heart pounds. Of course. I haven't felt this comfortable with someone in a long time. How long? About a year. There it is. Admission without admission. I know what you mean. We sit in the quiet darkness, her head on my shoulder, my arm around her waist. I should probably go, I say around midnight. Probably. But neither of us moves. Ryan? Yeah? I'm glad you moved in next door. Me too. Friday morning, there's a note slipped under my door. Thanks for last night. Coffee again today? Oh, with a little drawing of Totoro. I write back, absolutely. Same time, same place. We establish a routine over the next week. Morning coffee, evening walks, weekend movie marathons. She introduces me to her friends as my neighbor Ryan, always with a little smile that suggests more. Hannah, he seems nice. How long have you two been dating? Olivia, we're not dating, we're just figuring things out. Hannah gives me a look that says she knows something's up. The following Tuesday, she invites me to the museum. I'm giving a tour to some VIPs. Want to come? I watch her work, explaining Renaissance techniques to a group of donors. She's passionate, knowledgeable, completely in her element. Everything I admired about her before. Afterward, we grab lunch at the museum cafe. You're really good at that, I tell her. Thanks, I love what I do. It shows. She looks at me with an expression I can't read. Can I ask you something? Shoot. What made you move to this neighborhood? Dangerous territory. I needed a change of scenery. From what? Just old patterns, bad habits. Like what kind of bad habits? She's pushing, testing how honest I'll be. Running away from good things. Why would someone do that? Fear, I guess. Fear of not being good enough. She nods thoughtfully. That's sad. Yeah, it is. Well, I'm glad you're working on it. That weekend, she asked me to help her hang pictures. I spend Saturday afternoon in her apartment, holding frames while she decides on placement. A little to the left. Perfect. Domestic bliss I never thought I'd experience. While moving her couch, I notice something. A photo album partially hidden under a throw pillow. She catches me looking. Oh, that's just old pictures, nothing interesting. But I saw the cover. It's the photo booth strip we took on our third date. The evidence that she remembers everything. Sunday night, we're watching Howl's Moving Castle. During the scene where Sophie admits her feelings, Olivia pauses the movie. Do you believe in second chances? Loaded question. I think everyone deserves them. Even people who hurt others? Especially them, if they've learned from their mistakes. What if the person they hurt has trust issues now? We're talking about us without talking about us, so. Then they take it slow, prove they've changed. How would someone prove that? By staying, by not running when things get real. She looks at me for a long moment. That's a good answer. She unpauses the movie, but I can't focus. We're building toward something, a confession, a confrontation, a resolution. Monday morning, I wake up to frantic knocking. It's Olivia in pajamas, hair messy, looking panicked. I'm so sorry to bother you, but my car won't start. I can give you a ride. Are you sure? I have this important meeting at 9. Of course. She runs back to get ready while I start my car. Comes back in professional clothes and heels. Looks absolutely stunning. During the drive, she's nervous, fidgeting with her purse. Thanks for this. I really appreciate it. No problem. That's what neighbors are for. Is it? Another loaded question. Good neighbors, anyway. I drop her off at the museum. She leans over and kisses my cheek before getting out. You're a lifesaver, Ryan. First physical affection beyond hand touches. I drive to work in a daze that evening. She texts me. Dinner tonight? My treat. To thank you for this morning. We go to a Thai place neither of us has been to. Neutral territory, no history to navigate. Over pad Thai and spring rolls. She opens up. Tells me about her ex-boyfriend who cheated. About trust issues and walls she's built. About learning to be vulnerable again. It's scary letting someone in. Yeah, it is. Especially when you've been hurt before. By someone who didn't appreciate what they had. She meets my eyes. Exactly. We're circling the truth like satellites, getting closer but not quite touching. After dinner, we walk around downtown, end up at the park where we had our third date, sit on the same bench under the same streetlight. This is a nice spot, she says. Yeah, it is. Feels familiar somehow. She's giving me openings to confess, but I'm not ready. Still scared she'll disappear if I break the spell. Olivia? Yeah? I'm glad we met. Met or re-met? My heart stops. She's done pretending. What do you mean? Come on, Ryan. How long are we going to keep doing this dance? Game over. I don't know what you're talking about. Really? Because I think you do. She turns to face me fully. I think you know exactly who I am. It's okay. I'm not angry. You're not? I was, for a while. She pulls out her phone and shows me a screenshot. It's our old text conversation. The last message is me saying I had a great time, then nothing. I kept wondering what I did wrong. Guilt hits me like a truck. You didn't do anything wrong. I know that now. Then why didn't you say something when you saw me? Because I wanted to see if you'd changed. And I think you have. We sit in silence, processing this revelation. So you've known this whole time? Of course I knew. I'm not an idiot, Ryan. Why did you move in next door? I didn't know you lived there. That was genuinely a coincidence. But once you realized, I decided to have some fun with it. Fun? Watching you squirm was pretty entertaining. She's smiling now, teasing. You're evil. Maybe a little. So what happens now? That depends. On what? On whether you're going to run away again. Moment of truth. I'm not going anywhere. Promise? I promise. She leans over and kisses me. Soft, sweet, everything I remembered and more. When we break apart, she rests her forehead against mine. For the record, I missed you too. My face when I realized she orchestrated this whole thing. That feeling when the girl you ghosted gives you a second chance disguised as a first meeting. BME24 just went through the messiest breakup in recorded history. Ex-girlfriend, Rachel, was a 5'2" ball of pure rage and pettiness. Broke up with her after she tried to fix my personality for the 47th time this month. Told her she was more toxic than a League of Legends lobby. Big mistake. She storms out screaming something about showing me what toxic really means. Thought that was the end of it. Narrator voice. It was not the end of it. Next morning I wake up and go to grab milk for my cereal. Open fridge door. There's Rachel sitting cross-legged between my leftover pizza and expired yogurt. She's wearing a winter coat and has a sleeping bag. Good morning, Derek, she says like this is completely normal. I rub my eyes thinking I'm still dreaming. Rachel, what the actual hell are you doing in my fridge? I live here now. You can't live in a fridge. Watch me. She pulls out a tiny battery-powered fan and a phone charger, has somehow rigged up a full living situation in my Frigidaire. This is insane. Get out of my fridge. Make me. I try to physically remove her. She's wedged herself in using advanced yoga techniques. Every time I grab her arm, she goes completely limp like a protester's. You can't stay in there forever. I ordered groceries. They're being delivered in an hour. Sure enough, DoorDash arrives with bags of food. She starts stocking the fridge around herself like she's building a fort. Arranges vegetables to create walls around her sleeping area. Uses a pack of lunch meat as a pillow. I call my roommate Connor for backup. Connor walks into the kitchen, sees Rachel in the fridge, nods. Makes sense. You did break up with her pretty harshly. Whose side are you on? I'm Switzerland, bro. Thanks, Connor. Very helpful. Rachel has now been living in my fridge for 3 days. She's created a sophisticated survival system. Uses the vegetable drawer as a bathroom somehow. I don't want to know the details. Has a routine where she exercises by doing stretches against the freezer door. Eats exclusively cold foods like gazpacho and sushi. I can't use my own fridge because she takes up 70% of the space. Living off granola bars and warm soda like a college freshman. Try to negotiate with her. Rachel, this is ridiculous. People are going to think you're crazy. People already think I'm crazy. You made sure of that. She's referring to when I told our friends she once cried for 2 hours because I folded a fitted sheet wrong, which was true but probably shouldn't have shared. What do you want? Money? An apology? I want you to suffer. Mission accomplished. Now get out of my fridge. No. She pulls out a book and starts reading. It's The Art of War by Sun Tzu. She's studying military strategy while living in kitchen appliances. This girl is next level petty. Day 5 of the fridge occupation. I wake up to the sound of construction. Rachel has somehow installed shelving inside the fridge, created multiple levels like a tiny apartment, has a bed area, study nook, and what appears to be a meditation space. Where did you get power tools? Amazon Prime, same-day delivery. The efficiency is terrifying. She's also started a social media account documenting her fridge life. Her fridge life, #PettyX, #cold revenge. Somehow has 12,000 followers in 3 days. Comments are split between queen behavior and this girl needs help. I'm getting tagged in every post. My reputation is destroyed. Co-workers keep asking if I'm the fridge guy. Try calling the landlord. Is she on the lease? He asks. No, but she's living in my refrigerator. That's not technically against any housing laws I know of. It has to be against some law. Is she paying rent? Rachel shouts from the fridge. I'll pay $200 a month. Landlord, deal. I'll send her a lease agreement. I'm being betrayed by capitalism itself. Week 2 of Fridgegate. Rachel has gone full survivalist mode, installed a tiny heater for when she gets too cold, created a meal prep system using ice cube trays, has a schedule posted on the fridge door like a college dorm. Yoga, 6 a.m., breakfast 7 a.m., spite time 8 a.m., 6 p.m. Invited friends over for fridge tours. My kitchen has become a tourist attraction. Her friend Madison brings cookies and sits on the floor to chat. They gossip about me while I'm trying to make coffee, 3 feet away. He never appreciated you, girl. I know, right? Remember when he said my laugh sounded like a dying seagull? I said it sounded like a happy seagull, but okay. Start bringing dates home just to spite her back. Bring home this girl, Amber from Tinder. Rachel opens the fridge door right as we're about to kiss. Oh, sorry, didn't know we had company. Starts making herself a salad while maintaining eye contact. Nice to meet you. I'm the ex-girlfriend who lives in the fridge. Amber leaves immediately. Rachel. She seemed nice, very basic. This psychological warfare is destroying my dating life. Decide to fight fire with fire. Start leaving passive-aggressive notes on the fridge door. Electricity bill is $67 higher this month. Thanks. She responds with her own note. Rent is $200, utilities included. Thanks. You're not actually paying rent. Check your Venmo. She actually sent me $200. I'm now technically her landlord. This is the weirdest flex in human history. Month 3 of the great fridge occupation. Rachel has basically transformed into a fridge hermit. Rarely comes out except for yoga and spite missions. Has adapted to the cold like some kind of Arctic animal. Speaks only in temperatures now. It's 38 degrees in here, perfect for my mental health. Starts a YouTube channel called Refrigerator Living with Rachel. Teaches people about minimalism and cold therapy. Somehow turns living in my fridge into a lifestyle brand. Gets sponsorship. Deals with meal prep companies. I'm not making money off my own fridge, but she is. The audacity is actually impressive. Try one last negotiation attempt. Rachel, you've made your point. You win. I'm sorry for everything. Apology accepted. Great, so you'll move out? No. What do you mean no? I like it here. It's peaceful, no toxic energy. She's created a Zen paradise in my kitchen appliance. Has fairy lights. Plants that somehow survive in cold meditation cushions. It looks better than my actual bedroom. Friends start coming over just to see her setup. Dude, your ex has the coolest living space. It's a refrigerator, Marcus. Yeah, but it's aesthetic. I don't understand this generation. Month 6 update. Rachel is still in the fridge. Has evolved into some kind of cold-adapted human. Wears summer clothes in 40-degree temperatures. Metabolism changed to prefer frozen foods. Speaks in whispers because sound carries differently in enclosed spaces. I've completely given up fighting it. Learned to live around having a human being in my food storage. Meal planning is complicated, but we make it work. She leaves space for my groceries and I don't question her life choices. Weirdest roommate situation ever, but rent is getting paid. Occasionally we have normal conversations through the fridge door. How was your day? I'll ask while grabbing a beer. Cold, she responds every single time. It's become our routine. My friends think I should date her again. She's dedicated, bro. That's wife material. She's living in kitchen appliance out of pure spite. Yeah, but she's consistent. Men will literally find any behavior attractive if it shows commitment. Month 9 is Fridgegate. 9 of Fridgegate. Rachel announces she's moving out. Not because we resolved anything. She got accepted to art school in another state. This has been educational, she says while packing her tiny belongings. What did you learn? That I can survive anything if I'm angry enough. Profound life lesson from my refrigerator ex. Help her move out, which feels surreal. She's been living in there so long I forgot what the inside looked like without her. Fridge feels weirdly empty now, like losing a pet that you never wanted but got attached to. She leaves behind a thank you note stuck to the freezer. Thanks for the character development. You're still toxic, but I respect the hustle. Signed with a little drawing of herself in winter clothes. 2 weeks after she moves out, get a package addressed to both of us. It's a tiny refrigerator ornament with a note. For your next relationship, may she be warmer than your fridge. Rachel. The pettiness continues even from 200 miles away. Put the ornament on my actual fridge as a conversation piece. Dates ask about it. I tell them the story. 50% think it's hilarious. 50% run away immediately. Natural selection in action. 6 months later, get a wedding invitation. Rachel is marrying some guy she met at art school. Venue is listed as outdoor ceremony, weather permitting. She finally wants to be warm again. RSVP, maybe, just to mess with her head count. The cycle of petty revenge continues. My face when I realized living in my fridge was probably the healthiest relationship either of us ever had. That feeling when your ex's spite somehow made both of your lives better. Still keep the fridge ornament though, it's a good story.